Welcome into Dumke Field at Westminster College for the girls 5A semifinal. We've got a pair of region foes in our first semi today, the Brighton Bengals and the Olympus Titans. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. Please be joined by Kenzie Christiansen. Kenzie, Olympus, Brighton, just how it should be in a semi.
Yeah, no, this is a super great team. I'm pretty sure we saw about the same matchup last year. And they're both strong teams, both coached by very strong women. And it'll be exciting to see the fight that both teams are going to bring.
Fans, we remind you that there are no artificial noisemakers at UHSAA championship events. Please, no artificial noisemakers.
As we get ready to start here, Olympus wearing the white, Brighton wearing the navy. Should be a good one. These two teams played in a region matchup in the regular season. It was a 10-goal win for Olympus. What does Brighton have in store to try to get a little bit of revenge over their region foe? We will find out as we're ready for tonight's opening draw. The winner advancing to the 5A state championship game. That game will be Thursday night at 8 p.m. at Zions Bank Stadium. Underway here from Dumke Field, and on the draw, it is corralled by the Brighton Bengals. Good crowds on hand for both sides here early on.
Yeah, that's some roaring crowds out there for these ladies. You know, they're going to play their best game that they can play.
And for both these two staffs, two very engaged coaching staffs, Olympus won the state championship last year. They'd love to make it 2 in a row as an early call here. We'll give it Brighton a start here from 12.
Yep, happened between the 12 and the 8, so they do get pulled to the 12 and clear the lane.
This is Isabel Gurley, one of the top scorers for Brighton this year. 38 goals for the Bengals. She's going to have a big game, the junior, for Brighton if they want to pull off the upset. And we've got another whistle here.
Ball.
Brighton the 4 seed in this bracket. Olympus the 1 seed. Olympus undefeated, 16-0. They've beat 6A, 5A, 4A, everyone in front of them. They've taken care of business. Meanwhile, Brighton coming in 12 and 5. They're trying to get one right in front to Courtney Wright. But this one taken away by the Titans.
That was a long pass. Good for her.
Here comes Lizzie Ane. Worked over with Hazel Baker. Ooh, we just had some thunder. No one tell anyone. Everyone keep quiet about that. Weather's been threatening us all day. We've played clear. We're hoping that remains the case here. As Olympus getting set up, this is Lizzie Ane. Lizzie trying to get around this Olympus offense. We saw them early in the year, Kenzie, put up 20-plus on a 6A finalist in Lone Peak. It is high-powered, It is effective, and it is versatile and deep as a call here. We'll give the opportunity here to the Titans.
Yep, that was an in the sphere. This team is a very successful team throughout the season. Each player is a strong player. There's no weak links on this Olympus roster.
The Titans starting it here, coming in, shot and save. Big early save put on here by Annabelle Kiefer, the sophomore. Want to let you know the clock you see on your screen, unofficial. We manually operate that to try to keep it true with the game clock here in the stadium. As a call here, Brighton will have the start just about 23 minutes, so we got a little ahead of it. We're going to let it kind of catch up here over the next 30 or so seconds as Brighton will start it. Starting goalie today for Olympus, meanwhile, Sydney Rossi, the junior, has been great this year for the Titans. Little burst, shot, and that was saved away by Rossi. Nice work there by the junior goalie. Back trued up here to the official game clock. Brighton working here from X. Peeling off there. And
Yep. Let's stick to body contact. That's going to get them. It's got them twice already. We got to keep those sticks away from the body and give all body contact.
this will be started back behind goal. Trying to stay outside that circle as it was Hannah Bangeter, the senior, drawing the whistle there, and she'll come out to the 8.
That was in the sphere, was the call that was signaled. She'll be getting the first inside for the 8-meter opportunity, possibly the first goal in the game.
Here's Bangeter. You see the positioning by Hannah Nelson, going to try to shut it down. Hannah Nelson, so fun to watch play, great length, face-off, very athletic. She comes surging in here, take it away from Bangeter. The delay, and Brighton scores. First to score is the senior Hannah Bangeter.
You know, that's exactly what this team needs. Coming in as an underdog, they need to have that type of energy throughout. You know, sometimes Olympus has these types of challenges, right? A team comes in just fiery hot, get a couple goals, but then they always crank it up. So we'll see what happens here. Similar happened when we did Lone Peak at the beginning of the season. A couple goals got on the board, and then Lone Peak just turned it on.
Good start here for Brighton. I feel like we saw them against Bear River. Lost that game in overtime.
Yes.
I think they've been much more intentional here today and aggressive.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, game film's been watched. You know, eating right. Nash is huge on eating right. And just having her athletes healthy overall.
Me too. That's why I had an egg white grill from Chick-fil-A this morning. It's all about nutrition, Kenzie.
I had the Lucky Charms.
Nice.
Lucky as it gets.
Back to the draw here. 1-0. The advantage for Brighton. This thrown ahead, but it does go to the Bengals. Lauren Ellis coming away with it. As we've got whistles here, Brighton will start it.
Yeah, I was in the sphere. Had to put that Olympus player behind.
That pass a little tall for Cole, being kicked ahead, gathered here by Hazel Baker. We will say her name a lot tonight.
Certainly, yeah.
Baker on a surge, tried to play that over to Nelson. Hannah able to come back and gather it here for the Titans. Sent up with Lizzie. Here's an A. So you're wearing that knee brace, coming around, shot and a goal. Lizzie and A scoring to tie it up.
Yeah, that's something that, you know, you can't leave these shooters with a one-on-one because they can shoot with all body contact. So that's something I bet that defense is talking about right now is we got to have probably a backer on her or someone sliding a lot faster because they can shoot and they will do it.
And we talked about how potent it is. Boy, it can strike fast.
Yes, it certainly can.
The athleticism that Olympus has, you don't see it frequently in this state right now.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's very true.
One apiece. Good response. Good start for both sides. Sarah Ane here on the draw for Olympus. This gathered by Sarah. Worked up Baker. Boy, look at the speed from Hazel. In front. Turn, fire, score. It's Hannah Nelson with the goal, and Olympus takes the lead.
I mean, you can see their strength just in their cradles. They have strong, strict cradles. You know, we were able to get a couple good cradles in right before they were able to turn and release.
And that's the speed they attack with, right? You have a draw to the boundary, captured by an A, one pass to Baker, speed to draw defense. You got Hannah right in front of the cage, pass, fire, back in the net.
Exactly. No player can be left open like that.
That's what makes them so tough.
It really is, yeah. Is that every player out there can play at 1,000%.
And just to remind, that Lone Peak, we saw Lone Peak today, fast.
Yeah.
Olympus made Lone Peak look slow in that game, and that was early in the season.
Yeah, true.
Lone Peak has come a long way. They looked great this morning, but my goodness, it's something else what Olympus has built here in Coach Spratling. Collected here by Christensen. Here comes Nelson. And look at the spacing that Olympus just creates. Nelson finding Thorne. Eva, the shot and the goal.
What a big swing on that. She had the space. She took the power, getting that stick up and high and following it all the way through with her whole body.
Goal, number 10, Eva Thorne.
I was wondering where Eva was at. I was looking for her helmet. I was like, is she not playing? That's a little strange. But no, she is. She's right there, number 10.
Made her presence known. And that's the other thing is the velocity on the shots.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heat.
Yeah, they use their whole body as a shooter should. It shouldn't just be your wrists and your arms. It needs to be your whole body.
3-1 the start here for the Titans after conceding the opening goal. In fact, you look at this semifinal, 3 of the 4 teams coming out of this region in Olympus, Brighton, and Park City. Here comes Olympus. Baker was cutting through. She's got it. And Hazel Baker with a clean goal just like that.
The connection was beautiful. You know, the original ball handler kept the right side of the goal, but the left side's where that cutter came in and was able to get that goal. Hannah Nelson was that shooter.
Just a couple minutes in, it's 4-1. Olympus leading Brighton. Timeout Bengals. You're watching the 5A semifinal on KSLSports.com. Welcome back. Boy, Brighton, the energy they came out with looked like they're ready to play, but Olympus was like, ain't no thing.
Ain't no thing.
Come right back.
No, yeah, they definitely came with some sizzle on their play.
Another draw here, and it's been Olympus that is starting to take control of some of these. This draw gathered by Nelson. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen her take as many draws here early on.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it will happen. It just time and
little give and go and a goal. GGG, give, go, goal.
Yes, that's a beautiful way to break their way through that draw to the goal.
Second goal for Hannah, the junior, now with 52 goals. In fact, when you look at, in the other semis today, I don't know if you picked up on this, Kenzie, 30 has been my goal mark.
30, what do you mean?
30 goals. If a player scores 30 goals, how many players? Here's just a little tidbit about Olympus. They have 4 players over 50.
Mm-hmm.
Is that good?
No, of course not. Of course it is. That's amazing. I think that's the highest in the state.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal, the depth they have. Hannah's one of them. Hazel Baker has 64.
Mm-hmm.
Eva Thorne, her goal was her 70th this season. Sarah Ane with the other one with 59. Crowd trying to cheer on these Brighton Bengals.
Oh, I thought they were saying Hazel. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, what?
Oh, no, that's the Olympus. That's the other side,
That's
Kenzie.
the other side,
Yeah. Olympus here will have it as it went out of play.
Brighton is definitely playing a lot closer defense, not letting a lot of players out by themselves.
Worked around. This is Thorne. Eva sizing it up. Trying to get around. Flag shown here. Continue on. Here's Sarah. Ane. With the shot there. With a call here. Sarah will have it at 8 meters. They are trying to run clarification of the table. I thought we've been stopping the clock a lot. New rules. We keep this thing going.
Yeah. I don't even know if they stop it in college. Or maybe they're getting confused with the last 2 minutes stop inside the CSA. Anyways, we have an 8-meter opportunity.
coming in, shot and a goal. And right now, Olympus is just taking this game by the throat. Sarah with her first goal.
Sarah Ame with the goal for Olympus.
Oh, that rain is starting to come down.
Yes, it is.
You
It
know-
is coming more strongly. We did mention storms have been in the forecast. There's thunderstorms in the forecast. We'll deal with rain. We hope that'll be it. On the draw, it's been 6 unanswered here from the defending state champion Titans. And the procedure here will give it to Brighton.
Yeah, possession is definitely going to be very key for Brighton. You know, if Brighton has that ball on attack, rushing the goal or weeding, you know, that means Olympus just isn't getting it.
Gurley's still with it here. Should kind of run through the middle, but they didn't have any space. This is Hughley playing back to X. Hughley's still with it.
B or G? H.
A whistle there. Stick to body.
Yep, that's going to be between the 8 and the 12. She will be pulled out to the 12, opening up just a lane. They're going to look for, you know, any opportunity to get an assist or take the goal.
Hughley playing that back to Bangener. Bangener, the lone goal scorer for Brighton here early on. Playing that with Caroline Lee. Caroline back here with Gurley. Izzy. Boy, good D there by Hannah Nelson.
Yeah, they're having a lot of great, you know, ball control, keep the ball moving, keep possession like I was talking about. That's exactly what they want.
Little burst here. Hughley working in front and scoring. Big answer, important answer there for Brighton.
No, that was amazing. Way to take that lane, open that lane for herself. She did a tuck dodge, took that lane, and just took it back in the net. Honestly, there was so much white around trying to crash in. I didn't even see the goalie. All I saw was that ball hit that net.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic there as the rumbling in the sky is continuing. So does play here. Back here at the center spot.
I love the Bingham culture. They're so
Right.
fun.
Cheering on Izzy Gurley here. Out of the air. Gathered by Nelson. Looking up. Oh, big deflection there. How about the job coming up by Ayla Cole? In this sphere there, and we've now got a timeout here and a card going to be shown.
Yep. Oh, it was a green for delayed
Oh, okay.
game.
Because I was like, I thought there was a card, but yeah. So the green for delay there. Hughley.
Stick to body contact, taken back to the 12, and clearing out that lane.
Here's Alexandra, starting from 12.
Yep, just making sure that lane is clear.
Hughley coming in, getting the shot and a save by Rossi.
That was a great save, being able to cross over and get that save.
Kept here by Brighton as they're able to gather the ground ball. Bengals back on it here. Here's Eichner. Charlie back. Oh, wanted Izzy. And it's Nelson trying to put the pressure on and gather it. Could not. Ground ball picked up initially by Izzy, now in the air. And it is plucked out there by Lizzie Ane. And the whistle here, the push will give it to the Titans. A little skip pass over there to Sarah Ane. Continuing on here, Sarah. To the middle. Ane into the teeth of that Brighton D.
3 seconds. So, just to inform anybody that's new to lacrosse, that flag is a held whistle, meaning waiting to see what happens. What does the attacker do? Once the attacker's, done anything, that is allowed to blow the whistle.
Olympus plays this out. Here's Thorne. Lizzie.
6 to body contact between the 8 and the 12. I believe it should be pulled back to the 12. Yep, exactly. They'll be creating a lane, and they are leaving someone open over on elbow.
Yeah, it's Nelson. They tried to find her. That was deflected by Brighton. Nelson still has it, rings off the crossbar.
Smart doing deputy. This team is tall. They can intercept just like almost every draw. So smart to do that.
Surge up that left lane. A call there. I'll bring it back here. Worked back. GLE. Here comes Skinner. Working around. Not much of a lane there. Probably a good decision to pull that out.
Key possession.
Here's Izzy.
They've been able to hold Olympus off for quite a few minutes from getting a goal.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done a nice job, had a nice response, because it felt like there was all sorts of momentum building for Olympus there.
So I think if I saw the signal correctly, it was dangerous play. I don't know if I saw that correctly, but I do know the other one was a charge. So it's offsetting fouls. The ball will be going to the name Brighton.
Yeah. Yeah, here's Izzy starting it behind goal. Bang at her. Boy, being kept wide. Nice job by Olympus there.
Yeah, protecting your stick from that back check. Greatly done.
Here's Skinner. Playing that over now with Wright. Courtney trying to find another gear there. Pushed wide. Miller working up top here to Ellis. Everything outside right now for Brighton, Kenzie. Not a lot able to penetrate this Olympus D.
Yeah, and that's good and bad. Like, you're able to keep control of the ball as long as possible, keep it out of the sticks of Olympus, but then you also, of course, need the goal. So, calls like this is hopefully something they need to capitalize on.
And that's the tough part, right, is that that almost feels a little bit forced, but does get a call, give you an 8-meter opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Peeling back.
Smart. That was very lacrosse IQ there. You want that next hash. You want to be as centered as possible. possible.
This will be another start here for Miller. No, for Bangor, my apologies. Finding the open player and scoring. It's Lauren Ellis with her first goal today.
That was great. Look, I was so focused in on the ball handler, that I didn't even see that cutter. That was a beautiful look. Taking it over, taking that lane, and catching that goalie off guard.
Yeah.
3-point differential. This is amazing for these two teams.
Heady play there by Bangor. Love the find there. And how about Brighton now with back-to-back goals, showing a little punchback here.
Yeah, they're showing some great initiative in this game. That we're here, we're present, we made it this far. We want to make it all the way. We ain't just showing up. We're showing up to show off.
Yeah, you talk about a team that's made it this far, had a first-round bye as the 4 seed. Big win over Cedar Valley in the second round. And then a close game against the 5th-seeded Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. But they get the win to find themselves here in the semi. That's been the path for the Brighton Bengals. Just a pair of losses in region play. Only 3 outside of region play. And those losses were to Park City and the current opponent, Olympus Titans.
Eva.
Thorne will continue here. Here's Eva.
Yeah. Good double team.
Brighton staying right with her defensively. We'll get a call there for that stick to body.
That attacker is moving so much. So stick to body, I'm not totally surprised with. Of course, you want body defense. But when you have so much movement like Eva Thorne.
Thorne handing off. Opportunity here for Lizzie. That turn wasn't there. I like what we've seen from Brighton defensively. They've started to settle in here, Kenzie.
Yeah, no, it's been really good. I think, the energy's there. I think the sportsmanship is there, and I think the overall IQ is most definitely there.
Here's Eva Thorne. A lot of room for Eva. Top of the 12. She'll hand that off. Little pitch here to Neidiger. Wind up, shot, and a goal. Masami Godek, the sophomore, with the goal for the Titans.
Yeah, that was an amazing play. I thought it was going to be just an ISO, but they were able to send some cutters through and really get a goal off. That was great for Masami. I know that she's a little bit newer to this program, but she's made a big impact for him.
The assist was from number 18, Lily Neidiger.
Neidiger credited with the assist. Talk about Godek, just a sophomore. She's come on. I don't remember calling her early on in the year.
She wasn't.
Yeah.
She wasn't. She was actually on Skyline. Some situations happened there, but she's now here at Olympus and making, a great impact.
Yeah, great impact. Sarah stepping in here to take on Izzy.
Nice.
Self-draw.
Beautiful.
Sarah plays that so well.
She uses her whole height, body and stick. She's not just her physical height, but she's 3 feet on top of that. Nice pull on that shooting space. She saw that there was defenders in the way, and she, pumped up and got that shooting space call. All right, should we give them that first inside for the 8-meter opportunity?
Yeah, here's Sarah. Ane coming in, shot and a goal. Sarah Ane with her second today.
Something that I'm maybe noticing here with Olympus is that, just with their ability to play, I could be wrong, but I think just their power enough gets them their goals.
Yeah.
Their angles and their placement, of course, influence it as well, but that power is what's getting it in there.
You find me a shot that hasn't been coming as like a fastball.
Oh, I know.
Like everything is on you like that, right?
Yeah.
In fact, Brighton going to make a goalie change here. Kiefer's going to come off, and Sarah Hart, the senior, will step between the pipes. And look, you're shooting it fast. You're shooting it low. You're making the goalie read, move that stick. It's a lot to process, and because it's not an element that you see in most other teams.
Exactly.
And that's just...
Yeah, I think something that, Olympus did that was really smart is at the beginning of the season. They went out, I think, St. George area and did a camp. So did Brighton. They were both there. And I think, that really helped both teams.
Set up for another draw here. Back-to-back goals for the Titans. Self-draw. Once again. Whistle's there. We're going to get a card.
Yep, that was a card. I think we all kind of saw what happened there. A little bit of a cross-check. A bit of a cross-check, which is going to put her out for 2 minutes.
One of those plays where when you play Olympus, they don't need your help.
Yeah.
And those kind of plays, cards, being down, you're just giving them more opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm. You can't play with emotion like that. You got to keep that composure. That emotion is not good. But hopefully lesson learned and get back on the field with, better situations.
Here come the Titans. Baker, shot on goal. And it is so hard coming in off the bench to see that coming at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a deer in the headlights right there. Getting that cut through, assisting it over with a big ol' wind up to a shot.
6 different players with goals. Nelson, Baker, Sarah, and A all with 2. It's just what Olympus is.
It's who they are.
It's who they are.
It's what they represent.
They are who we thought they were, and we thought they were really, really good.
And what I love about the team is that they're connected. They don't favor one player over another. They're just overall good kids.
You talk about 2 great cultures. We got 2 great cultures here.
For sure.
Off the draw, Baker working up, Lizzie. Oh, big play there for Brighton.
Yep, but it is going to be going back to, is that Izzy, whoever just had the ball, for a horizontal.
Yeah, I thought it was Lizzie, but I always have to double check the NAs. Sarah and Lizzie, I always I get a little.
I mean, they're twins, so I get
it. Yeah. It will be Lizzie. Starting here straight away from the 8. Lizzie coming in, shot, goal.
Beautiful goal, taking that center lane and getting right off that goal is left hip. Perfect positioning.
All right, so next we need Eva Thorne to score. That'll be her second.
Okay.
Then Goddick to score. That'll be her. I mean, it's
Goddick. Oh, Goodick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, Goodick. Sorry.
Like, huh?
Sorry, Goodick.
Oh, yes.
But it's just there's no one player out there for Olympus looking for theirs, right? And that's what, like, the team nature of it and the shareability of it is what just makes it tough to defend because the players with 2 goals, that list is becoming longer and longer.
Exactly. And, it's, we have some seniors leaving that are on that list, like Eva Thorne going to Boston College. No, Stony Brook. I'm so sorry. Stony Brook. But there's plenty of talent that's growing up through this program. The ball does have to start with the girl that was on draw.
Here come the Bengals. This is Alex Hughley. And now with Lee. Caroline hanging that back line, back to Hughley.
Yep, they're definitely going to play that backer as much as they can as they are, Brighton is man down.
Here's Ellis. I see them try to bring right up there, but being man down doesn't help. That one turned over.
Yeah, that just trickled out of bounds. A little bit short on that pass. Unfortunate, but how they react is what's going to really help their game.
Long outlets available for Olympus. Oh, just over pursued it. Courtney Wright coming away with it here for Brighton. I will tell you, the whistles are much more pronounced this game, which is really helpful. They were kind of quiet last game.
I think the other refs had the new electric whistles.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but that's my guess.
Played back to X here, Bangeter. You see that help coming over, but boy, coming up high, contact there, and we're going to get the card. So Brighton a chance here with an extra player.
Yeah, she'll be going into that, first inside hash. The best thing to do here, okay, maybe not the best, but one of the ideas to do here is to look for any type of cutter because almost all Olympus players are going to flock to that ball.
Coming in, working off the crossbar. Put back, and Rossi takes it away. Ground ball, Brighton trying to get there. Caroline Lee sweeping it. A cover there, and it'll stay here. Boy, how about Rossi? The crossbar and then denying the putback.
No, that was insane on that goalie's part. That was beautiful.
Here's Izzy. Izzy coming around in shooting fight and able to score. Prime area for Izzy Gurley as she nets her first.
No goal.
Ooh.
Yellow card.
Is that a dangerous foul?
Yep. But both refs have yellow, so I don't know if there's two different ones. She is out of the game. That is her second.
Oh, wow, that's right.
2 and you're done.
Yeah. Oh, a huge call here. The leading scorer for Brighton is done.
Yep. I mean, well, Mountain Crest also had the situation where they didn't have some of their top players. Brighton can do just the same and fight real hard for this.
And now we've got a lightning delay, so we will clear the field. Lightning delay here at Westminster in the 5A semifinal. Olympus leading Brighton 10-3. Lightning delay. Welcome back. Ready to get going after a short weather delay. Everything's a little wet, but other than that, we're still here. Dane Stewart, Kenzie Christiansen with you. 6.5 to go here in the opening half. 10-3 Olympus out in front. And Kenzie, did you ever play through a weather delay?
Yes.
What was that like? Like how you stay focused, how you stay warm, all of that, yeah.
I think it really depended on which team I was on. If I was like comp or high school or college, it was all a little different. But overall, the emotions are crazy because of the fact that you don't know if it's going to start again, how it's going to start again. If you're ready to start again, are you already tired? What part of the game are you in? So it really just is about honing in your emotions and just dig deep. Let's get back on this. Let's get back into the game.
It'll be interesting to see what responses we have. First half, so we're 6.5 minutes away from halftime. And so really an interesting opportunity here to maybe make some adjustments, go test it, see how it works. And then you have an opportunity to maybe revisit that as we are back underway here at Dumpke Field. And this is Olympus with it. Titans pushing up here. Looking in front. Nelson made that little cut. And trying to keep that and will. It did do a number on our crowd. I'm not going to lie. Some people left. Understand it. Hope you're enjoying the stream now that we're back up here and running. Here's a little burst. Sarah able to score it for the Titans.
Yeah, Brighton wasn't able to seal her off well enough, but she's able to get her arms up and free and rip it through.
Yeah, nice push there by Sarah. And the Anays continue to wreak havoc.
Yeah, just from that last round, it did look like they were kind of face guarding Hazel Baker, which is, not a bad idea to do so.
It did become late fall while we were in our lightning delay.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good wind. Air temp dropped a little bit. I haven't seen snow yet, but
well, it's a solid 63 here in Utah.
Yeah. I mean, it was mid 70s and sunny this morning at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the draw here. A reminder, right before we had the weather delay, Izzy Gurley received her second yellow, and here the check, and this is going to be a card shown as well. Baker trying to shake that off. Looks like she'll be okay, but no delay on that indication at all.
Yeah, that is super unfortunate. Brighton will be down for 2 players, but, I think the rest made the right call there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a whistle start and two man up for a few minutes.
Officials here clarifying, making sure they get this correct to the table.
I'm interested to see how Brighton defense is going to maintain control down on that defensive end.
When we talk about opportunities to make pushes, well, this is Olympus's opportunity. You go two-man down, top scorer off the field for Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Olympus a chance to absolutely take this game by the throat here late in the half. Still some conversation at the table here. Woo! We've got all sorts of things going on here.
We got some allergies. It's been cotton all morning. We've all been sneezing a little bit, and now we got a runny nose. So we'll see how this goes. All right, looks like we're all clear with the refs. They just got to get set up. Once that's all good, I believe the official in front of us will be whistling.
This is now a 5-0 run for Olympus in this one, as it was 6-3 after Brighton made that quick comeback. Had a couple goals there, but since then it has been all Titans. Baker.
Wait, is there 3 Bryans off the field?
Boy, maybe. That one just hitting off the pipe.
Oh, yeah, because Izzy is also out. Yep. But we'll have the ball behind X. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to start out this play here.
I think dangerous follow-through there was the indication. Trying to learn the indications and signals from our officials.
Yeah.
So I'm a newcomer to the game. So
no, you're doing great.
We're getting caught up to it. Brighton here will have the start. The clock was stopped for that one, so getting that squared away here, and Brighton will start it here. Well, there's going to be some more room out on the field as players off here due to cards. Brighton again starting here. This is Zoe Kiefer, the junior, bringing it up. Kiefer continuing on here.
Holding possession is really what the team needs right now. They are 3-man down. I believe they have 4 cards. If that is so, they're going to be playing man down for the rest of the game.
I think they're just 2.
Well, there's 3.
She's standing out of the box, though. Oh, yeah.
There's one behind.
Right,
she has her hoodie on. Yeah.
She has a sweater on, so I didn't see her. Pressure here by this Olympus defense. This is Eichner, being defended by Christensen. Wagner sending this with right. Here's Bangeter. Here's Lee. Caroline turning back to the middle. So this will be Caroline Lee with the start from 8 straight away.
Yep, that was in the sphere. She'll get that center hash, and she looks like she's ready to go.
Caroline Lee coming in. And
an illegal check is the signal. I believe she's going back to the center hash.
She got right to the crease, right to the circle there.
Mm-hmm.
Front Olympus is able to crash down. See if she maybe takes an earlier shot here.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like she's running in.
Given over to Ellis.
3 seconds. 3 seconds is when a defender is standing inside the 8, not guarding an attacker.
Started here. Bangeter turning back. Nice help there by Olympus. Trying to get this to the middle. That pass could have been connected, and the Titans have it. Penalty area clear for both sides. This will be Arrowwood to start it here for the Titans. That one trickling through is Cole able to retreat and pick it up here for the Bengals. Ayla continuing on here for Brighton.
Yeah, they're, riding high for Olympus, trying to stop that ball as soon as possible on the attacking end.
And the push there will bring it back here. Hughley. The call there. Hughley will be straight away. 1:15 left here.
She's going to look like she's running it in.
Hughley coming in. Shot and a goal. Alex Hughley with the goal from 8.
No, that was a great goal. Finally getting that opportunity and chance for her again and selling it back to the net for the 4th goal for here, Brighton.
And my apologies. Hugely. I've been saying Hughley. It is huge. I remember that from our game. And yeah, it's my apologies to Alex and family. Getting that wrong. Just over a minute left here. Nice goal there late for Brighton in this half.
Okay, yes, it looks like I was correct. Bengals will be playing a man down due to that one player having that one player having 2 yellow cards. She is out, but the team in the total have 4.
Sarah here for Olympus at the draw. I think it's Ellis for Brighton. As ground ball picked up by Nelson. Here's Baker. Hazel playing this with Masami. Lily has Nelson.
Very smart. She's able to have that body contact, and it's not smart for Nelson to back that out.
Sarah. As we approach 30 seconds left in the half. Trying to feed in front for Thorne. Shot just wide. Backed up Oh,
nice.
Easy find. How about the bounce shot and the score for Olympus?
That gap was just a little bit too big on that defending end, where she was able to get that ball and just sell it to the bottom of the net.
Second goal of the game.
It just shows their stick work and communication and, overall teamwork, too, to be able to have that pass forward up to, about that elbow and just taking those few steps in to get that goal.
Nice goal there for Goodek. She was lost amongst that Brighton D, able to take advantage of the space. Pushes the lead back here to 8 with 15 seconds to play in the half. "15 seconds left." And they giving a quick survey here of the landscape. Ground ball. Nelson trying to get there, sweeps it up.
Yep.
Seconds ticking away. Here comes Olympus. Final shot. Did that go in? Yes, it did.
It certainly did. That was great. She took that left side, right hand, and was able to put it in the back of the net for that bottom half.
Lizzie with her third goal. Sarah has 3. Lizzie has 3. The sophomore Anais having a big semifinal. Just 1 second left on the clock here in the half. Couple critical goals in the final 30 seconds for Olympus.
Yeah, no, they've had a lot of intensity in these last few moments that have brought a few goals into the game.
Final draw before the break. And that will do it. First half coming to a close. Olympus looking like the undefeated number 1 seed. They lead Brighton 13-4 in the 5A semifinal. You're watching it live from Dumke Field on KSLSports.com. All right, welcome back. Getting ready to start the second half. Dane Stewart, Kenzie Christiansen with you. 13-4. Olympus with a couple of big goals in the closing 30 seconds to get a 9-goal difference. We talked about this game in the regular season. It was 15-5. Olympus, they found the offense, and they've been able to answer and put together big runs, Kenzie.
Yeah, no, they've had some really great runs. I feel like really good unity and just, having the good looks to goal.
One of the things that, look, the weather can't really decide what's going on right now.
No.
Pretty fierce wind, kind of far to right. It's across the field. And so keep an eye on some of those passes that are maybe going laterally. You could see weather playing impact with that, as off the draw, Olympus with the draw win. And a chance here to enact a running clock should they score. Brighton without Izzy. She picked up 2 yellows in that first half. Right in front, and that hit off the crossbar. Great look there for Nelson. Back on it, and save made there by Hart. See if that can maybe help spark something here for the Bengals. Zoe Kiefer trying to run past the pressure put on here by Olympus.
That wasn't in the sphere. She's going to be doing a self-start.
Here's Kiefer.
Yep, it was a push, though, which was a call, and it will be a self-start.
Here's Brighton working behind goal. This is Eichner. Eichner sending that up hugely. Nice little roll there, hugely working. And there's the call.
Yep, and in the sphere, I believe it shall be taking her out to an 8-meter hash. It looks like the first inside.
Hugely with the start from 8. Procedure there. We'll give it away.
Yep, that's a false start. A lot of people, I think, basketball has a different, same signal, different meaning, but that is a false start.
Was she trying to time that, do you think?
She thinks she was. She's just trying to beat him.
Scooped up here by Nelson. Olympus staying on it. Worked up to Baker. Hazel coming ahead. Looking in front. Ane trying to turn around. Good stick work there to jar it loose. Ground ball being kicked back. This will stay here with Olympus. Here's Sarah. Now Lizzie. Goodick. Oh, right in front. And that one, boy, somehow it doesn't go through on the attempt there from Neidiger. And Brighton now coming away with it.
Yeah, great ground ball to get that turnover to the other side, hopefully.
Given away, maybe. Brighton trying to stay on this. Retreated, captured here by Cole.
I just noticed that Cole has her wrist taped up.
Yeah.
Wrapped up. Hopefully everything's okay there as she continues to play.
Cole gives us with right. Looking up there for Hughley. Feels like, if nothing else, breaks might have been good for some of the energy and emotion that was being built up in this game.
I definitely think so. And also,
dang it, or Rossi with the save.
You know, Brighton's just got to be smart with their plays because they are going to be man down. They got to utilize every moment that they have on the field with the ball.
Here comes Baker. Hazel into the corner. Reinforcements coming up. This is Sarah. Sending with Nelson. Ane again. Goodick right in front, going high and scoring.
That was super great. There was a defender at her backside trying to check it, but she was not allowing it. She was able to get her arms up and out and free to get that goal right above goalie's head.
Actually put the goal on the wrong end. Should be a running clock. We'll get that sorted out here, I believe, at the table.
You said it should be a running clock?
Well, because it should be 14-4.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay, I follow.
Yeah. And they do have the clock going now. Let's let that catch up with ours. Of course, I want to remind everyone the scoreboard's kept on the field. Not that that will do much for our visitors here at Dumke Field, but not much we can do about that, Kenzie.
Very true.
Yeah. 10-goal difference. Of course, we have one more semifinal for you tonight. Park City, Wasatch, the rivalry of the Wasatch back.
That was a high sailing draw.
Scooped up by Baker. Talking about Hazel has the pair of goals. She's been really unselfish today, getting the rest of her team involved. Right in front again, going low and scoring.
Super smart. You know, she kind of did almost like a cherry picking moment, but just a little bit more towards the right side of goalie circle. Did a little kind of pump fake and was able to shoot low.
I think it was Lily Nelson with the goal.
Goal number 11, Lily Nelson.
Yeah, they've had an amazing game. Like you were just saying, everybody's having the opportunities to touch the ball, get goals, you know, see each other on the field, and just play a well-rounded game as they prepare, you know, for the future games.
Talk about, you know, Olympus coming in undefeated. They defeated Brighton this year, defeated Park City earlier this year. Could have a Region 6 rematch for a championship.
Yep.
But boy, they've looked the part, as they have all season. I mean, look, they haven't played a lot of close games, the Titans.
They certainly have not. That's a little bit too tall for even the Olympus.
Yeah, Nelson certainly tried to corral that. Taking back here. Brighton.
3 seconds. That is a major foul. 3 seconds is, as we said before, setting inside the 8 without defending an attacker. Ball will be going to the dot. Whistle start.
Hugely. Over with Bangeter.
Yeah, that's smart to put a backer defense, knowing that they are man up. You know, eliminate any attacking motions forward for Brighton.
You know, we talk about how good Olympus's offense is and their speed, but defensively, they don't give anything.
Oh, no, like that's exactly something, you know, maybe you don't see as much with some of their games, is that their defense is just as strong as their attack.
Yeah.
Like their goalies had some insane saves.
Yeah. Yep. Opportunity here right in front. Try to just kind of backhand that. Rolling through, and Rossi will gather it. Boy, how about that snag by Sarah? Here comes an A. Sarah has help. Working to get around. Tough angle shot saved by Hart.
Push. And a push charge. Okay, yep, there was a call made, and it's getting awarded to Brighton.
Brighton with the start. Cole. Contact there, kind of jarred it loose. Baker trying to get there, and again, you've got a bit of traffic, collision, and a card being given here.
Yep, that was going to be a yellow card, so that means Brighton will be down 2 players now. That is unfortunate for Brighton.
Taylor went to grab water.
Technically, you're not supposed to, and that's why the official is saying that.
Is that a delay?
I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, it's supposed to be a penalty. The coach isn't supposed to coach her in this time. She's not supposed to leave the box for, you know, the water or any other reasons.
Officials here going to have a quick conversation. I'll tell you, Hazel Baker, she's wearing some today. She's been bruised and batted around. And
yeah, she's going to have a lovely sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Probably some ibuprofen and Tylenol will be taken.
Some ice packs. As Olympus looking like they'll have another game coming up. This one skipping past, but tracked down by Davis. Out on the ground and regathered here by the Titans. Here's Thorne, Eva to Nelson. Oh boy, hard contact again. Boy, and both players down. Nelson is down and a player down for Brighton, and I didn't see that number. Boy, hard contact there right in front of the goal.
I mean, I can say my personal opinion. I think it could have been a little bit on both of them.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. We don't have a playback. Officials obviously have that call, but there was definitely something big happening
They're
down there.
both going for that same space. It's one of those where it's like, I don't know what you call. We'll step aside. Injury timeout here. We'll be back in the 5A semifinal. Welcome back. It's still hard to see that Brighton number of the player that was hurt on the play. She was able to kind of be helped off the field. Certainly hope she's okay. Hannah's back up here for the Titans. They did call a block.
Yes.
And we were talking about it off air, and that's a tough call. I'm not saying it's the wrong call. It's, both players are going for a space. In the rule book, yeah, that's going to be a block. It's just hard sometimes in those moments. As Hannah coming in, scoring it for Olympus, making it 16-4. I want to circle back to that just because, it's not the wrong call.
Exactly.
It's just a hard call, right? It's like you have to make a call in that scenario. Players not established because they're both going for space, and that's the rule,
well,
right?
As I saw it, it was like, oh no, something just happened.
Yeah.
But it's like you then have to analyze, what did I just see? And that is something that these refs have been trained to see. That see that specific first contact call was a block, even though it could have looked a little bit like a charge or whatever else was trying to get those equal amount of space.
Because I think sometimes, I know this is common in basketball, right? It's like, well, but the offensive player ran into the defense. Well, that doesn't necessarily matter. It's not about creating contact.
Yeah.
It's about positioning, right?
Yeah.
And that's how it is in basketball,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Still learning girls lacrosse. I could be totally off in that,
ladies.
but as back to the draw here. (16-4) for the Titans. This game was 6-3.
Yeah,
It's been a 10-1 run.
Well, that's what I was kind of talking about, is that Olympus just, puts the pep in their step and gets up and going after the other team starts out the game.
And, if it makes them feel better, Lone Peak has been here. That game was 2-1, right? Mm-hmm. And then, 20-3 or whatever it was?
Yeah, something in the similar.
Something that was unbalanced. As Eva Thorne coming away with it.
Yeah, they are playing a 5 girls on that defensive end. That's going to be hard.
Got it right through, top shelf and scoring. Sarah Ane.
Yep, no defense inside on that one. A little bit too much space, and it's hard to cover that much space with that many players when you're that low on girls.
Well, this is where, you lose a player in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're just digging out of a hole, right?
Exactly.
And Brighton's been put in that situation very early.
Yes.
And when you go up against the top team in the state, it's hard to be able to work through that. And I haven't been able to get many answers since that point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a lot of challenges today, especially. We got delays. It's cold, it's hot, it's all high intensity and energy and emotions just due to, the whole circumstances of the game. So I think, all each player can do is just self-analyze, say, am I doing my best? And that's what the the self-questioning has to be.
Off the draw, this sent back. The hold there will give it to Olympus.
Was it a hold or was it a cover? She grabbed her wrist?
She grabbed her wrist.
Okay.
She grabbed her wrist. Now, we're a ways away, so could have gotten that wrong.
Well, a call was called.
A call was called. Here comes the Bengals. My apologies. I thought she's... Yeah, anyway.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Here is Wright. Playing this back with Bangeter. had the opening goal for the Bengals. Tosses that now to Hughley.
An illegal check. It is outside the 12, so it should be a self-start. Good check. Yep, that was a good check.
Good awareness there by Hughley as Ane was ready to start quickly. Working through, Sarah sending ahead with Lizzie. Here's Sarah.
Yeah, it's a lot of white. It's only a few blue.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to cover two as much as they can.
Good at being forced out by the call there on the stick to body.
Yeah, she'll begin that second inside for that 8-meter opportunity. That should be Masami. Goodick.
Goodick winding up, shot just wide. And closest to there was Olympus.
You know, that happens as an official. Sometimes you point to the color jersey of the wrong side.
Well, sometimes we say the wrong team name, right? It happens to all of us. There's a nice save there by Hart.
It's called We're Human.
Yeah. Cole will start here again. Inside of 10 to play.
Yep, legal check. She's going to move forward behind.
And now we'll get a stoppage and a card going to be shown here. You know, how about this?
Green, yellow?
Yeah. For the delay. Here's something crazy. We talk about Olympus's D. Brighton has not scored in the second half.
It's you're totally right. But yeah, that was a yellow-green for the delay of game. That is their second time, so that goes towards the team count, not that specific player. After that, if it continues to happen, it's yellow. It looks like Masami, or not Masami, number 5's name. I cannot think. Oh, Hazel Baker. My bad. Had a question. The ref was able to answer very simply.
Here's Cole. Ayla now wide.
I think that's the smartest thing they can do is play wide, play smart, and wait for any opportunities they have. The more time that Brighton has possession, the less time Olympus has on that attacking end.
Well, maybe it frees up the offense a little bit as well, right?
That's true. Yeah, that hopefully will create a little bit more space and catch a ponytail a little easier.
I'll tell you what it won't do. It won't give you easy scoring opportunities because nothing does against Olympus.
Exactly. Yeah, no, true.
Whistle there.
Mm-hmm. Cross check. You saw the repetitive movement with that horizontal from the ref. She should be getting, the first inside for 8-meter opportunity. She likes to run these in, so let's see how it gets executed for her.
Caroline Lee set up. Coming in, working across and scoring. Lee with a beautiful finish.
That team really needed that positivity with that goal right there. There's been a lot of calls against them, a lot of cards against them, and so that goal was definitely something that team needed, and it was well-deserved. She had a great lane, protecting her stick, able to get across the crease and release it to the back of that net.
That is the first goal that Brighton has scored in this second half. And it's the surges that makes Olympus so hard. We've talked about that. We'll see whoever their opponent is. It'll be the winner of Park City Wasatch if they have an answer to try to deal with the Olympus surge that has become almost a game. I was going to say a word that doesn't exist. A game-by-game, like, just existence, right?
Very beautiful draw. Able to capture that in the air. She moved with the ball.
Here's Eva. A lot of room. Handed off. That didn't make its way through. Kept here by Ane. Working in front. And it's Nelson painting top corner.
That was a beautiful goal. She was able to have a clean cut. Able to catch that ball with no contact from defense and release it. You know, just a simple day for them.
Assisted by number 12, Sarah Ane.
Very precise shot there from Nelson.
Yeah. I think it was very precise. It was very controlled. It was very, physically and emotionally controlled. She just wanted the goal, and she got it.
And now we do see Nelson here taking draws. There's been Sarah. She's had a lot of them today, but she had been off there for a moment. Back to even strength. And it's now Nelson. Thorne, nice spin move. Going low, and that taken away by Hart. Started here with Dupay.
Yeah, push was just called. That was a little bit off frame for some of us. It will be going back to Brighton, and they are going to be coming inside that goal line.
Olympus starts with 4 defenders inside of like 8 yards. It's just pretty crazy defensively how they attack. Again, I mean, you have half the Olympus defenders standing right around. Ground ball picked up here by Brighton. Good nice job by Steuben. As the foul here, we'll keep it with the Bengals. Four and a half to play.
I think the best thing to do is just keep that ball on the attacking end. If they can, get a clean lane, take it. Otherwise, just be smart and keep possession.
Banging her to right. Courtney trying to work around here, playing back to X. Trying to get that with Lee. We'll redo that. Here's Lee.
Yep, in the sphere is what's getting called right there. It is happening about the 8 and the 12. I believe it will be going out to the 12, taking a lane for her. Being 2-man down, this might be the only lane she sees in the next few moments.
Yeah. This will be Lee. Caroline back on it here. The shot and a goal. Caroline Lee with a couple goals here today.
That was great. She was able to get that lane, but then crossed over and was able to get the positioning she actually wanted. Got her arms up and free and ripped it to the back of the net. Whew. It looks like we have it's a 3-3-3, so 9 players on the field for Brighton. Just for some of you that may not have been aware, That's 3 defense, 3 midfield, and 3 attack. They can set it up either way for the attack and defense. I think they have it set up the best way that they can with the amount of players they have.
Yeah, given they're playing down.
Mm-hmm. And they have to ensure that they always have 4 back, so yeah.
Approaching 2 to play, off the draw. Ooh. Thought Wright had a chance, still a ground ball. Gathered here by Hughley. Wright. As we're inside of 2 to play.
All right, that looked like it was a stick to body or horizontal. It'll be going to the dot, and whistle start.
Played over with Lee. Caroline trying to roll back there. Nice defense, I think, by Ragland.
Yep. So she did go for that check and unfortunately did hit the Brighton player in the head. Does look like she's all right, but that will be a 2-minute penalty for Olympus, and it will be a whistle start, I think, at the dot. I'm not quite sure where that happened at.
Yeah, so Eva Thorne's day will be done, seeing as how there's less than 2 to go.
Mm-hmm.
The senior will have one more. Reminder that final will be Thursday, 8 p.m.
Yay. 8 p.m. I only say yay because I live a little bit of ways from that location.
Yeah, it'll be a late night for you, Kenzie.
That's all right. It'll
That's
be a
all
good
right.
game.
It should be. It should be a great game. Bengals starting it. Zeichner works us back. Oh, picked off by Hazel Baker. A lot of room here for Baker. Looking up, Ane with the shot, and that did not find its way through. Head off the post, I think.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Right in front. That one finished. Nelson with another one.
Yeah, from X up to that about hanging hash area as she cuts in and is able to take that momentum to the back of the net.
As seconds continuing to tick away, 20 seconds to go. Exclamation mark there for the Titans as they'll take care of their region rival, the Brighton Bengals, 19-6. What a game as the final countdown on here from the Olympus faithful. We won't get another draw. That will do it. A dominative effort from Olympus as they close out the game on a 13-3 run en route to the championship game. Kenzie, your final thoughts on a player of the game?
I think that was an overall, best as you can play game. Unfortunately, on Brian's side, they did end up starting to play man down, but Olympus was able to keep that clean composure. I think it's fair to say that since they're twins, I'm going to pick both of them, the NAs. They both had, I believe, 3 goals each. They just played a well-rounded game, and I think they were just some shining stars out there.
Yeah, they probably had more. We stopped keeping track when it got out of hand in the second half and we got cold. Great games for Sarah and Lizzie as they help Olympus past the Brighton Bengals. The 5A state championship, one of the teams is set. It will be the Olympus Titans. The other will be determined next as our final semifinal of the day coming up here in about 20 minutes from Dumke Field. Join us right here on KSLSports.com. Great year for Brighton. It ends in the semis at the hands of the Titans.